The good news is that the standoff that took place in this house for hours is over and no one seems to be hurt. But for a while, police fear the worst. Scott, you definitely do. You know, when you're riding past, you look inside and say, what's going on in there? Well, crews have been working all through the summer and the park is finally starting to look like Kentucky Kingdom once again. If you're targeting Kentucky voters, you better be prepared to talk about gun rights. And that's exactly what some politicians are aiming to do. Shannon, for years there was this unsightly scaffolding here that pedestrians had to walk under. As you can see now, it's gone, and you can see the beauty of these facades once again. Developers say there's more beauty to come. Although purses will still be allowed in Cardinal Stadium, remember, security reserves the right to take a peek inside and stick their hands in your handbag. And everyone's really is everybody having a good time? Great time to be at the Kentucky State Fair. Little chilly, but still a lot of fun. If you are into arts, music, and entertainment, then this is definitely the place to be. At Jefferson Gun Club, Sherrell, Hubbard. Wave 3 News.
And she broke it.
Wave 3 News reporter Sherrell Hubbard just got back from the scene, and Sherrell, this really was a terrible crash.
Yes, Janelle, all the neighbors say they were horrified about what happened, and late today we received word that the driver that was killed was 78-year-old Betty Spriggs. Police say she lost control and went into oncoming traffic. That's when she collided with that utility truck, and that truck ended up on top of her car. The white Dodge Neon looks like scrap metal after being crushed by this Salt River utility truck. The utility truck driver was helped to safety by neighbors who also tried to assist the driver of the Neon.
They tried to help her out of the car, and they saw her, my friend saw her take her last 2 breaths, and she passed away.
It made me feel awful because I couldn't help them.
The wreck ended up right by Beverly Dillender's back door. She says on any other day, she may have been in the yard outside with her 2 small children.
And it's so close. It could have came and hit us on our porch. It was very close to our porch.
The coroner says the woman who was killed died at the scene, but her body was not removed from the car until that car was carted away. Those near the scene say wrecks like these have become all too common here.
There's been plenty of accidents over here. It's kind of an everyday thing, pretty much.
The official cause of death of Miss Spriggs is blunt force trauma. The coroner tells me she was only about 50 yards away from her home. In the newsroom, Sherrell Hubbard, Wave 3 News.
So sad. Thanks, Sherrell.
Not happy with the council and not happy with the fact that Mayor Fisher announced today that he'll sign it when it comes across his desk. Stores say a nice chunk of their sales happen between 2 and 4 in the morning.
Can I help who's next?
Cashier Carissa May says she'll be back on the job market shortly.
Now, this caused me from going job hunting. I've been here for 5 years. Never had to worry about nothing. 6 days a week, 36 to 40 hours a week.
She works at the liquor store on 27th and Broadway, but they'll be downsizing soon. They will have to cut back on workers because they'll have to close earlier. The biggest proponent of that change says it'll help stop violence.
There's a lot of crime that goes on nearby. Within a quarter mile, on the premises, in the parking lot.
And although some of her constituents don't agree,
I don't know about curbing crime. I believe if crime is going to happen, it's going to happen with or without liquor.
The mayor says he'll sign it.
Happy to follow the will of the council there.
Liquor store owner Sandra Fant says he hasn't thought it through.
So the city's going to lose revenue between me and the Thorntons and the gas stations that can't sell them 2 hours when you add it all up. It's a lot of revenue.
She did an open records request of the city and says she found that stores like hers aren't the problem. She says only 30 citations were issued countywide for liquor stores and convenience stores compared to 160 for bars and nightclubs this year. And Fant says instead of solving a problem, the council may be creating a bigger, more deadly one.
You're going to get drunk driving, you're going to get more DUIs, and more possibly killings from hitting and running where people ain't seeing they toe up leaving the club.
Carissa May says the council who voted 15-7 to eliminate extended hours now should extend a helping hand for all the workers who will be out of work.
They ain't thinking about the people. They must got a job for me beside them.
That ban is set to go into effect on December the 1st. Sherrell, Hubbard, Wave 3 News.
Thanks, Sherrell. And
Scott, I spoke with Bardstown Principal Chris Pickett's lawyer today. He says it's his client's face that's been plastered on the news the last few days, but he says his client hasn't done anything wrong, and this is all just a big misunderstanding. Who stole a $25,000 batch of rare bourbon? That's the million-dollar question that's being echoed around the world.
Everybody knows about it. It's been in, the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, CNN. It's been all over the world.
And in the bourbon capital of the world, Bardstown, Kentucky, inquiring minds want to know.
It's been all the rage. It's the holy grail of rare bourbons. If you can get a hold of a bottle, everybody's your buddy.
Bardstown High School Principal Chris Pickett has found himself in the center of the controversy. This surveillance footage came from an Elizabethtown liquor store whose owner claims Pickett tried to sell him cases of Pappy Van Winkle 20-year bourbon. Pickett's attorney says they've got it all wrong.
And he told him that he was a collector, had several bottles of Pappy, and certainly would like to buy some more.
Instead of offering to sell the bourbon, Pickett's lawyer says he wanted to buy some. He says his client had nothing to do with the heist of more than 200 bottles of the bourbon from the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort on October 15th. He insists the store is the one looking to get publicity from its now viral surveillance video.
It may be their 15 minutes of fame. Maybe they're trying to call favor with the police departments.
Sheriff Pat Melton says he's confident that they'll catch the bandit who made off with the booze soon enough.
It's a small community. It's an extremely rare bourbon. It's a very high-profile case, and if somebody tries to fence it or sell it locally, somebody's going to know about it.
Pickett's attorney says they will meet with police tomorrow to answer any questions. Law enforcement says they are following up on several leads and are also considering the prospect that the theft could have been an inside job. The prized 20-year bottles retail for $120, but can be sold for nearly 10 times that price in an auction. Scott?
I do have a big turnout. Everybody's just out here enjoying the festivities, enjoying the food. I've had a corn dog and some deep fried Kool-Aid myself, and everyone's really is everybody having a good time? Great time to be at the Kentucky State Fair.
The Kentucky State Fair, where you can be serenaded by a 10-foot man, dance a country jig, meet all your favorite Wave 3 personalities,
hey, how are you doing?
And pretend to be one.
83 degrees, partly sunny, isolated showers. There's a picture of downtown Louisville.
There's no place like it in the world.
The best part of the fair so far has been this massive turkey leg, and it's like really salty, but it's really nice. We don't get anything like that in England. Everything's quite bland there, really.
Folks come for the rides.
I want to go ride the Ferris wheel.
And a Kentucky State Fair wouldn't be a fair without a Chicago-style hot dog, and of course, a world-famous packed corn dog.
The cool drinks keep flowing, and all the food comes deep fried.
The deep fried Girl Scout cookies.
Yeah, I was just about to say
that is unbelievable.
Deep fried Kool-Aid is a winner, and no counting calories if you want a Krispy Kreme burger.
It's like 2 donuts and then a burger and...
I'm gonna stroke out before I leave. Well, in case you did not make it out to the Kentucky State Fair today, no need to worry. It'll be here until Sunday the 25th. Live at the Kentucky State Fair, Sherrell, Hubbard, Wave 3 News.
All right, thank you so much, Sherrell. Looks like a